Yeah, Rudy, everyone, welcome aboard. Please slide all the way across the road. Place some smaller support right towards the center of the road there. Safety store to lose items those that things at your feet. Kind of help keep from bouncing around today. When we hit rough road, we will be hitting some rough road out there. If there's a pothole, I promise you I'm going to do everything I can to try to find it. There's your warning. Please remain seated for me at all times. This is for your safety. If your whole party doesn't fit on, you will be on the next truck. Watch your hands feet on the right side. We're just going to close up the doors here in just a moment.
Hey, look at this.
Watch your hands feet on the right side. We're just going to close up the doors and y'all are not mine for the next 2 weeks. Alright, as we say here in Harambe Twin Day, that means let's go. Or we'll see you in a couple weeks. Well, Jumbo, everybody, my name is Kevin and I'll be your game driver through this 2-week photo safari. Is everybody excited about going on safari?
Yeah!
We have to check out those game spotting guides up above your heads there. That'll help you identify some animals we could be seeing today. Probably won't see them all, but we usually have pretty good luck. We have any first timers on board today?
Yes!
First time safari goers. Let's see those hands lifted high. Alright, this is my first time too, so we're going to experience all this new stuff together. How about it? I'm just playing. Not my first time. Last time I did only bring back about half the people, so hopefully this time we'll have a little bit better luck. Now, the Harambe Wildlife Reserve was established in 1971 as a way to help protect local wildlife. Over the years, the animals have become very comfortable with us humans, which is great for us, but sometimes not so much for them. They've become easy targets for poachers and illegal hunters. Because of that, we have wildlife rangers constantly patrolling the 800 square miles of the reserve. We're required to check in with them before we enter, so we'll see if we're in radio range in just a minute. Once again, please remain seated for me at all times. This is for your safety. Also, refrain from leaning out over the edge of the truck. We will be passing through some rough brush, and we don't want anybody to get caught in those thorns. They can be pretty painful. Let's see if we're in radio range here. Air Patrol, this is symbol 1. Over. Jumbo Wilson, symbol 1, entering the Little Etruria Forest. Over.
Keep your eyes open and drive carefully. You should see
antelope right here coming up on your left.
Oh, copy that, Wilson. You heard him, everybody. We should see lots of animals. If you look out to the right side, you'll see the Okapi. Okapis were discovered by Westerners until 1901. They have black and white stripes on their legs, leading most people to believe they're a relative of the zebra. They're actually the only known relative of the giraffe. The Okapis have long necks and long tongues like giraffes. Their toes can reach up to be about 14 to 18 inches in length. Now, this tan-colored animal is crossing right in front of us here. We've got a couple of them around here. These are the greater kudu. They're the second largest antelope here in Africa. Males can weigh up to 750 pounds. Now, watering holes like this one on the left side are important gathering place for animals here in the forest. It's usually our best chance to see some of the rare species like the black rhino. There's a great looking black rhino right over there by the water.
It's got a black rhino.
Black rhinos can weigh up to 3,000 pounds. Charge to speeds of up to 35 miles an hour. They also have a 1-inch thick hide, making them virtually indestructible except for at the hands of humans. Sadly, there's only about 4,200 of these guys left here in Africa today because they are so heavily poached for their horns. There's only about 4,200 of these guys left here in Africa. So we gotta really help to keep them safe from these poachers we have problems with. Now, if you look up here on the right side, on the hill there, you'll see some orangish, brownish colored animals. Those are the bongo. They're so rarely seen, they're known as the ghosts of the forest. That's a rare treat to get to see them today. Their horns are pointed backwards. That helps you get through the thick brush here in the forest. Now on the right side, you'll see a black and white bird right there. That's a saddle-billed stork. It gets its name from the yellow saddle shape on its bill. It can stand up to 5 feet tall, being one of the tallest storks in Africa. They also have a wingspan of 8 to 9 feet.
See something? Okay. That's okay, I got it on
Let's head up here to the Safi River, where hopefully we'll get a chance to see one of the largest animals here in Africa. Hippo. Hippos generally spend the majority of their day completely submerged under the water, so as we come up here, keep an eye out, they may be under the water. A hippo when born can weigh about 85 pounds. Fully grown males can tip the scales at 5,000 pounds. There's a hippo's head sticking up out of the water over there to the right side. They stay completely submerged under the water. They just don't keep their big bodies from overheating. They can stay completely submerged for 5 to 8 minutes at a time without coming up for air. There it is right there. If you ever see a hippo moving in the water, it may appear as though it's swimming. Don't be fooled. It's actually walking along the river bottom. Hippos generally do not swim. When they do come out of the water, they can consume up to 100 to 150 pounds of vegetation a day. These birds here in the nest there, those are the white-breasted cormorants. And then these gray and white birds on the island there. You'll see some on the island, you may see some on the bank, and some in the water. Those are the pink-backed pelicans. There's a great look at a hippo walking on the river bottom there.
Hey, mister.
Yeah, walking on. These pink-backed pelicans are known for their group efforts in helping each other out by trapping their prey toward the shallow parts of the water. That way everybody in the flock gets a chance to eat. Now these black birds here, these are North American vultures. Not really sure how they ended up over here in Africa. I guess I'd probably say they were from Florida. As we approach this bridge, I want to remind everybody to please remain seated for me at all times. If you look up to your left-hand side, you'll see the Nile crocodile. They're much larger, much more aggressive than the American alligator. You may see some of them with their mouths open.
He's laying on
That's them regulating their body temperature, trying to stay nice and cool. They use their super strong jaws to crush their prey, staggering 1,200 pounds of pressure per square inch. They always look a little hungry to me, so I really don't like to hang out here on this old bridge for too long.
We're hooked on the alligator skin.
Number 1, come in.
This is Symbol 1. Go ahead, Wilson.
Just wanted to let you know that my ground control has been abandoned and the activities in the Grand Lake pit. You definitely want to check out that area.
I'll copy that, Wilson. Over. It's always nice to have a set of eyes up in the skies to help us out with our safari. We're now leaving the forest and entering the savannah. We'll see a completely different ecosystem with different animals. Then we'll head off to elephant country in just a little bit. Speaking of different, this tree over here on the right side, that's a baobab tree. They survive long periods of drought by storing water in their trunks. They also get leafless about 9 months out of the year. Their nickname is the upside down tree because it appears that their roots are up in the air rather than in the ground. This is my favorite view of the whole reserve. Serengeti grasslands stretch out for hundreds of miles across eastern Africa. Serves as a superhighway for millions of migrating animals each year. It's also home to some of the more popular animals like the lions, the giraffes, and the elephants. It's all part of the wild Africa we're working so hard to conserve here in Harambe. Now, the landscape of the savannah is created by the animals that live here. Elephants act as bulldozers. They like to knock the trees down and eat them. They eat the leaves as well as some of the bark on the trees, and the bark has some moisture. It helps to hydrate the elephants. Once they get done knocking the trees down, that allows the grasses to spread out. If you look on the undersides of these trees here, you can tell that the giraffes have been around. Giraffes serve as pruning shears. Once they get done cleaning up the undersides of the trees, it allows the sunlight to come through and new shoots to grow. The grass starts to get too high, the larger antelope and wildebeest come in and mow it down towards the center, leaving the edge to be cleaned up by these smaller antelope and the warthogs. In a balanced natural system, there's always enough food to go around for everybody.
Yep.
You'll see these tall cones of earth over here. See a couple more coming up here. These are termite mounds. You'll find these periodically throughout the savannah. They're as hard as concrete. Elephants like to use them as scratching posts, and once they have been worn down by the elephants, the smaller antelope in the savannah like to use them as watchtowers. They sit up on top of them, that way they can keep an open eye out for their predators. They're usually lurking around here in the tall grasses. And here's a great look at a reticulated giraffe up here on your left.
There he is. Where?
The word reticulated comes from the Latin word reticulata, which means net, referring to their net-like patterns on their skin. Their patterns are as unique as a human's fingerprint. No two are ever the same. They're the tallest animals in the world. Males can reach heights of 18 to 20 feet, females 13 to 16 feet, and a calf when born can look a grown man in the eye, sitting about 6 feet tall. Looks like we're gonna have to hold down right here. We're gonna hold right here for just a minute. There might be a small animal migration up ahead. It seems like we have a reticulated giraffe moving up here in the road, so.
Giraffe.